Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating rivalries on the African continent, Nigeria versus South Africa. So it seems as though this SA and Niger rivalry is not letting up. Recently South Africans and Nigerians got banned from using the car ride service, Bolt, because of this rivalry. Following this, South Africans started trolling some of the Miss Universe Nigeria contestants. For the last few weeks South Africans have been voting for Chidima to make it into the finals of the competition, and all of a sudden they started throwing their weight around one of the plus-size contestants, Ufadania, Miss Cora. As a result of this I started to wonder to myself how and where exactly did this beef come from. So, join me in exploring this toxic relationship between Nigerians and South Africans. From music and sports to beauty pageants and social issues, these two powerhouses have been locked in a dynamic dance of competition but also at times collaboration. Buckle up as we explore this multifaceted rivalry. South Africa and Nigeria, two African powerhouses, often at odds in the race to be crowned the true giant of Africa. This rivalry spans beyond politics and economics, seeping into culture, sports, immigration, and even beauty pageants. But where did it all begin? And what has fueled this competitive spirit over the years? Both South Africa and Nigeria share a colonial history, but their experiences diverged greatly. Nigeria was colonized by the British in the 19th century, gaining independence in 1960, leading to a relatively peaceful transition.
The country's citizens and outsiders strongly believed that Nigeria would rise to lead Africa in world affairs. The nation was perceived as a beacon of hope for other colonized nations in Africa that were yet to break free from their masters.
South Africa actually gained complete independence from the British in 1934. Following this, black South Africans faced years of racial segregation under apartheid, enforced by the white minority government.
On April 27, 1994, Nelson Mandela cast his vote in the first free and democratic elections in South Africa, marking the official end to racial oppression and apartheid rule.
Apartheid formally came to an end in 1994, when Nelson Mandela was elected the first black president. These different histories have shaped both nations in profound ways, with Nigerians seeing themselves as the giant of Africa because of its massive population, and South Africa positioning itself as a rainbow nation, due to embracing the various ethnic groups within the country. In the late 1990s, South Africa saw an influx of immigrants from across the African continent. Nigerians, Somalis, Congolese, Ethiopians, and Egyptians sought refuge and economic opportunity in post-apartheid South Africa. This coincided with the rise of illegal substances, a struggling economy, and soaring unemployment rates. Immigrants were often blamed for taking jobs through cheap labor and contributing to societal issues.
Court Street in Hillbrow is a small patch of Lagos in South Africa. Here, Nigerians cluster together for security. There's safety in numbers.
We are totally living in fear. Because you are in Nigeria, they have to fuck you up in any way they like. The way they treat Nigerians in South Africa, particularly Nigerians, is tear-sharing. Police brutality here is what we are suffering most. Please, we need protection. If they don't want us in their country, they should tell us to go.
By contrast, Nigeria is largely homogeneous in terms of its African descent, with its major ethnic groups, the Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and Fulani, dominating the population. Although tribalism has posed its own challenges, Nigeria's identity as a largely black African nation has helped it become a cultural beacon, especially for Africans in the diaspora seeking to reconnect with their roots. Lagos, in particular, has become a hub for African creativity and influence. South Africa, meanwhile, has become a global tourist destination. With its rich biodiversity, stunning landscapes, and historical significance, it was long Africa's top destination until recently when Morocco claimed that title. Yet South Africa still remains a symbol of diversity, a rainbow nation that continues to draw millions to the country. South Africa, much to the chagrin of some other Africans and especially Pan-Africanists, do not support the idea of a united Africa and borderless Africa, stating that it will increase poverty and unemployment for South Africans, which is already alarmingly high, post-COVID. South Africa's unemployment, however, is a pressing issue, sitting at 32.9%. The rivalry between South Africa and Nigeria extends into economics, with both nations vying for the title of Africa's largest economy. In recent years, Nigeria has pulled ahead in terms of GDP, largely due to its oil reserves, becoming the richest country in Africa. However, in 2024 South Africa took over the title of Africa's richest country from Nigeria, with Nigeria falling to fourth place, after Egypt and Algeria. When it comes to GDP per capita, South Africa still holds a significant edge, reflecting a more developed infrastructure. South Africa also has a more developed middle class, when compared to some other African countries. The average South African earns a salary of approximately 26,000 rands, which is approximately $1,500 or £1,300. Coming in second on the continent, after Morocco. Which is why it has become a beacon of hope for Nigerians and other African migrants looking to escape war, poverty and a lack of opportunity in their home countries. Nigeria grapples with poverty, despite its massive wealth potential. Both nations face their own struggles, but their influence on the continent remains undisputed. When it comes to culture, Nigeria has become the cultural capital of Africa because Afrobeats has taken the world by storm, with stars like Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Tems leading the charge. Nigerian films have also become very popular on the continent as well as internationally, making it the biggest film industry on the continent and one of the biggest in the world. South Africa has also had success in the arts, with musical exports, such as amapiano and house music being loved locally and internationally. SA artists have also gained international acclaim, Zax Bantwini, Wouter Kellerman and Nomsibo Zikode, with Black Coffee winning a Grammy for Best Dance Electronic Album in 2022 and Tyla winning a Grammy for Best African Performance in 2024. South African movies such as District 9, which was not received very well in Nigeria, winning an Oscar, as well as Tsotsi, amongst others.
Showed Nigeria in very bad light. Nigerians as cannibals, criminals, and the head of a criminal gang being Obasanjo. That's very brazen of them to use the name of our former head of state as the head of a criminal gang and at the same time mentioning Nigerians. And they also showed Nigerian girls as prostitutes, sleeping with extraterrestrial animals, and so on and so forth. And we felt that that attack is unwarranted.
The ever-popular blood and water is another South African export. Whether in politics, culture, or economics, Nigeria and South Africa are together leading Africa into the future. So, these are some examples of where the rivalry between these two nations stem from. Is South Africa the giant of Africa, with its diverse economy, international tourist appeal, and cultural influence? Or is it Nigeria, with its vast population, natural resources, and dominant cultural exports? The debate continues, but one thing is certain, both nations play an essential role in shaping Africa's future. While the rivalry between these two nations will no doubt continue, it's important to recognize the contributions of both. At the end of the day, the rivalry between Nigeria and South Africa is a testament to the greatness of both nations. Whether it's in music, sports, or social issues, this rivalry pushes them to strive for better, to represent Africa on the global stage, and to inspire the next generation. So, what do you think? Which nation comes out on top? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, goodbye.